Welcome back to the Polish Dad Vlog. Tell you, life ain't easy. So I can think of a lot of things that go on in life and go wrong in life, and just are hard, present you with challenges. I was talking to a friend of mine this morning that had a rough weekend, a long weekend. And without going into too much detail, it was one of those parents get a phone call in the middle of the night about one of your kids. Thankfully, in the long run, his child is okay. That's very good news. But sympathize with him. I've been through that middle of the night. Something's going on with the kids. And you just, you feel like your world it ends or is on the brink. When it's just tough to go through. I had it happen kind of several times. Calls from the police, friends, whatever. But it doesn't have to be with your kids. Your job all of a sudden was there one day, and before the end of the day, it's gone. And how do you face that? And it's easy. It's easy to fall into that. Woe is me, and it's tough. It is not easy. As I said, it's just it's hard. There's nothing more to it. It's just very hard to. It could, like I said, it could be anything: kids, work, finances, whatever. And I think I don't want to say I've been through my fair share. I don't know what a fair share is, but I have been through some of those hard times, and through the years I've learned. And as my father-in-law, I guess he hearing it enough started to kind of set in and ring a bit of truth. But he'd always say it could be worse, and we would laugh and it'd kind of lighten the mood or whatever. But there's definitely truth to that. It could be worse, and sometimes no matter how down you're feeling or how just every minute just seems to get worse and worse and worse. I take into heart that it could be worse. It could always be worse. And sometimes you really don't feel like it can, but it can be worse. And tomorrow may not be better today. Tomorrow may be worse than today. But when you think about it, and you put yourself into somebody else's shoes that does have it worse, then you stop and say, I guess it could be worse. Maybe I should start being thankful for what is good and positive, and it doesn't take away what's going on at that minute, but I think it puts it into a little bit of perspective that maybe it's not as bad as we make it seem sometimes. Again, not to try to minimize it or whatever, but I found that when you look at the bigger picture back up, that generally at some point there's going to be brighter days. I've learned through different trials and tribulations that again, you may be at the bottom. You may feel like things can't go worse, but there's a reason that that's happening. And you get through that, you push on through it, and in the end, you look back and if that didn't happen, you might not be where you are today. Personally, one thing that pops into my mind immediately is the job I had 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. I had it. It showed up in the morning, and by the end of the afternoon, I didn't have it anymore, and just really tough period of time, and took me a little couple months, which in the big picture isn't that long, to find something else, and I wasn't ready for it, and at the time I didn't want it to happen. But looking back at it now, you know what, it was the kick in the pants I needed. Again, it wasn't easy. But made it through, and I look back, and at this point I wouldn't change it. I'd go through it all again to be where I am today. So sometimes again when it seems bad, it could always be worse, and there are better days ahead. You just gotta push through, keep believing, and it'll happen. Anyway, that's all I got for today. So take care. I hope you have a great day. I hope you always remember that, yeah, it could be worse. And I'll see you tomorrow.